These are stocks to keep your eyes on because the news could really move them. Sometimes the news could really hinder them. Let's talk about these stocks as possible ones to own or not. Click the link to watch the entire video. Ørsted and BP look to develop major renewable hydrogen project in Germany. That's an oil company, y'all. How about that? How about maybe, possibly, BP sees the writing on the wall? That's an oil company. BP stands for British Petroleum, by the way, in case you didn't know that. All right, now that's good. You just learned something new today. They're getting into a renewable energy plant in Germany. How interesting is that? Now, once people begin to travel and take cruises, oil will go up. John, I'm going to cover that in a second. I will take care of covering that in a second. All right, but interesting that an oil company is looking at going into renewables as well. I just thought that was a story that caught my interest, and it should have been one of my stories of interest. Another one is Boeing. Where's Boeing? FAA to end the Boeing 737 MAX grounding as soon as November 18th. That's huge for Boeing. That's been an albatross for Boeing for almost a full year, if not more than that. Boeing went up, and this was on the 9th of November, as the Federal Aviation Administration reportedly is in the final stages of reviewing proposed changes to the 737 MAX. We all know that a couple of 737 MAXs went down, killed a lot of people. This has been big for Boeing. Could this be the right time to start thinking about getting into Boeing? Possibly. All right, we'll take a look at it. Now, the question came up about travel stocks. Well, how about this? Airline and casino stocks soar as Asia Pacific is back, Pacific on the back of coronavirus hopes, the vaccine hopes. So there was a part of the story that I wanted to see. I didn't do anything about the casinos. I was more interested in the airline stocks. Where is it? No, where's my part of the story? Oh, phooey. That's Pfizer, BioNTech. Crud. Airlines across the region surge, with Australia's Qantas gaining 8%, Hong Kong, Cathay Pacific, China Eastern Airlines, Japan Airlines, la. Hold on. Anyway, I've got another story on airlines as well, which is going to be Southwest, and that's another one. Southwest sees a slowdown. This is in the airline industry. All right, so someone said that, there it is, that was John. Once people begin to travel and take cruises, oil will go up. How about Southwest Airlines sees a slowdown as COVID-19 cases spike? Airlines aren't going to start going back up until we get a bona fide vaccine in place and people are going to feel more comfortable traveling. All right, until people, that's probably when it's going to happen. When people see a real vaccine and they get inoculated against it. I think people are itching to travel. People are itching to travel, but are you willing to get on a full plane with people and possibly catch COVID? I think that's weighing heavily on people's minds. All right, so Southwest within this space is saying that they see a slowdown. Now, something else possibly could happen. I'm thinking that some stimulus is going to happen for airlines as well to keep them afloat, because I've done stories in the past on the airline industry that they're looking to lay off a lot of people because of this. All right, so those are my stories of interest this week. Let's go into the software. Let's go look at let's do this first. Before I go look at the airline stocks, I've got a whole watch list of travel stocks from across the whole region, 37 stocks, which looks at the hotels. It does look at the airlines. It does look at the cruise lines. I've created my own watch list of all of that to show my travel stocks. Let's do this. I want to look at the watch list average of all of these. They are starting to bump up. All right, and this was on hopes. All right, this was on hopes. Where was that big bump up? I bet you that was on the 9th. I bet you that was on the 9th when we had that big jump up. Yep, 11.9. All right, when we had that big jump up in the market, airline stocks felt it, and what are they doing now? This is all on hopes, and look at all of that give back, and look at that follow through to the downside. I'm not willing to jump on the travel stocks yet, and this watch list is looking at everything within travel. But let's get back to today's watch list, 11, 12. The stocks that I'm looking at are going to be Boeing. What else was I looking at? BP. Where's that at? There's Boeing. There's BP. Here's my ETF for all of the airlines, JETS, and last but not least, LUV, Southwest Airlines. These are my stocks of interest this week to keep our eyes on. I'm going to go straight to the graphs. Let's go straight to the graph. View the stock graph. Am I ready to take Boeing with the news yet? Big bump up as the news came out. With the 9th was the news date, something like that, right? I believe it was on the 9th, somewhere up in there. What is that? That's the 9th. There's the news that came out on Boeing. But man, look at the pullback on it. Still above the 20-day exponential moving average. For the purposes of getting into it, let's see if the stock can take out that high. I want to make sure that I'm buying into a rising stock. I'm saying that with the news, it does have the potential to go up. Let the trade come to you, though. Don't start buying it now and dollar cost averaging down. Say, well, I really want to buy low. I want you to buy smart. All right, I know the goal is to always to buy low and sell high. I'd rather you to buy smart and make money. All right, so for me, I want to make sure I'm buying into the stock that's rising. Right now, it's not. If you own it, be careful. Notice that it gapped up, noticing that we're starting to get into the area of fading the gap. That's not a good sign. All right, it's not a good sign. Let's go to the next one. British Petroleum going into that whole BP, going into that whole idea of a hydrogen plant in hydrogen renewable plant in Germany. Story made the stock pop up, but look at it pull back. Watch the volume pulling back, and the stock is now back in a downtrend right now. And let's go to the next stock in here, Jets, Jets, Jets. I'm a Giants fan, by the way. But look at that. You're saying that when when these airlines start moving again, the oil will go up. They ain't moving. That was one day, don't make a trend, folks. Again, that's on the 9th. That was such a big up day in the market. And look at all of the pullback. I'm not ready to touch that. Look at that level of resistance is serving as a current level of support. Look at that on a 3-month graph, serving as a level of support, possibly maybe breaking through it right now. Not ready to touch it. Not ready to touch it just quite yet. And last but not least, we have in that airline space, LUV. LUV, if you look at that airline as compared to the JETS, it's been doing a better job, but yeah, I'm not feeling that. It's a shooting star pattern that normally is found at the top. It still nonetheless is followed through to the bearish side. All right, anybody got any questions on my stocks of interest today? All right, anybody got any questions on my stocks of interest? So, Mike, in your opinion, we are going to see consolidation of airlines along with hotels and restaurants. So, Mike, my job here is always going to be to tell you, let the trades come to you. Don't try to guess them, because every time you try to guess at what they're going to do, the market has a way of humbling you each and every time. I always want you guys to plan your trades and trade your plan. Not only that, let the trade coming to you. Let the trade come to you. Hey, if you like this content, guess what? You can join us live every Thursday at 2 p.m. here on YouTube. Join VV Nation. We hope to see you there.